Hello everyone, my name is Yang Zhang. I'm glad to provide a presentation with my team members Zihan, Aishan, Xitao, and Wenhao. Nowadays, in our daily activities, we cannot without oil and gas. The oil and gas company can make a lot of money. Our group chose Shell for our topic. We will start our presentation in the order of this page. First of all, let me briefly introduce the company. Shell is an international oil and gas company, which was founded in 1907, and its main office is in the Netherlands. With revenues of almost $181 billion in 2020. It has several services, such as managing different oil products and chemical activities. Its main competitors are BP and Total. Next, I will turn to the Shell's leader, Ben van Beurden, who is showing on the PowerPoint. He was born in 1958 and became a Dutch businessman. In 2014, he was appointed CEO of Shell. During 2018, he was paid around £17.2 million. No matter what we do, we will meet an ethical dilemma, especially in business activities. It is a difficult choice between two or more options, neither of which can resolve the situation in a way that is consistent with the moral rules. This impacts on the company's competitive abilities, as well as its stakeholders. When a company makes an ethical move, it may get negative outcomes. When it makes an immoral move, may get weakly positive effects. As for Shell, preventing environmental damage becomes the most important moral responsibility under the development of sustainability, which can affect its revenue. Take carbon emissions as an example, which conflict with the moral duty to protect the environment. The greenhouse gas caused further warming and long-term change in the weather system, increase the unfavorable effects on people and the environment. However, limiting CO2 output will require significant investment in developing new energy sources and reduce the CO2 of energy products to achieve net zero emissions. It is worth note how Shell deal with this dilemma. Next, please, Aishan to describe two types of leadership for us.
To continue Yang, I will now move on to transformational and transaction leadership. Considering the transformational leadership that Ben van Beurden owns, the idealized is represented by his integrity as he sponsors to decrease the net carbon imprint caused by the cell by at least 50% by 2050. Besides, he is endowed with a sense of mission and he further imparts it to his colleagues. This greatly inspired them to work harder. As to intellectual stimulation, Ben van Beurden is innovative and ambitious. He's always encourage young entrepreneurs to figure out what they really want to achieve and then to preserve it. Lastly, in individualized consideration, he showed concern for his employees. In the first years of performing the roles of CEO in self-company, four colleagues and their family disappeared on the plan of MS-17. Later, he expressed condolence toward them and further set more comprehensive bottom line for the employees. Transactional leadership consists of two parts: contingent reverse and management by exception. First of all, the contingent reverse that the employees can get firstly be appraised, and then the employees can get reversed accordingly in sale. In this respect, it is reasonable and well arranged. On the other hand, in earlier days, Shell made announcement to its staff that most of the employees wouldn't get their annual bonus except the trader. By contrast, traders' bonus would be hefty because of the excellent performance. As to punishment policy, it's harsh as Ben Van Burden himself is known for being blunt. Generally speaking, Benjamin Burton is a relatively well-performed leader in idealized influence, inspirational motivation, and intellectual stimulation. However, what he has done on individual consideration is still inadequate. He is too strict toward the performance of the employees and pay more attention to the profits of the company instead of caring of employees. This is all for me. I will now pass it on to Wenhao.
Thanks, Aishan Zhang. Next is my turn. My name is Wenhao Li, and my job has two parts. Firstly is trade leadership. About this part, I think leaders are born not made. About the Ben, he has some strengths. He is innovative and ambitious. He is willing to develop some new technologies, and he also has sense of missions. He would not only develop the companies but also to benefit the mankind. But he also has some limitation. His lack of care for employees. He's known for his over demanding for the employees. About the trade for the ban, firstly, his integrity. He abode by the Paris Agreement, and he promised that he would decrease the net carbon imprint caused by Shell at least 50% by 2050. Next is self-confidence. He was graduated with a master's degree in chemical engineering from the Delft University of Technologies. Himself is a talent, and compared with other businessmen, he's more professional, and his confidence about himself and himself's abilities in the oil industry. The last is the determinations. He developed new HSE manager planning to manage the staff more better. And the next part is a rationale for approach. About the transactional leadership, his focus on employees' performance. For example, he requires all staff to follow HSE politicals, and the option one is to enhance the training for staff, and it could make the staff avoid the mistake, and which could make some accident. It could reduce unnecessary loss to the companies, and after that, it could provide maximization for the companies. And the next is about transformations leadership that focus on the future direction of the companies. For example, the band developed the CCS technologies and put it into the effect. The technology could store the carbon dioxide and improve the efficiency of employing the oil and gas. And so the option two is to invest in technology innovations, and it could pay more attention and to cleaner energies. It could make the sustainable development come true, and it's good for the company's future. That's all my part. Next is Zihanjiang. Thanks. Good luck.
Hello, my name is Zihan Zhang. I would like to introduce the ethical dilemma and impact. The ethical dilemma facing Celsius is whether to promote sustainable development or insist on maximizing the company profits. Since 1997, Celsius committed to promote sustainable development has been part of Cell's general business principle. These principles and code of conduct apply to the way Cell does business and the commitment in which it operates. The Celsius has been worked to embed this sustainability commitment into Cell's strategy, business process, and decision making. Cell's aim is to deliver more and cleaner energy solutions in a responsibility manner, balancing short and long-term benefit and integrating economic, environmental, and social factors. For Cells, the short-term interests are to maximizing economic interests, while the long-term interests are to promote sustainable development. In this conflict, Cell chose long-term interests. To this end, Cell has set four main goals to powered progress, which is to deliver progress together by putting more and cleaner energy solutions, generate shareholders' value, and grow value through a dynamic portfolio and disciplined capital allocation, achieve net zero emission and work with customers and other sectors to accelerate the transition to net zero emission, respect nature, protect the environment, reduce waste, and make a positive contribution to biodiversity. Following leads through our products and achieve and by supporting an inclusive society. The next is the ethical dilemma positive impact. The positive impact of Shell's driver towards sustainability is the promote of business that operates safely, efficiently, responsibility, and profitable. Share the wide benefits achieved in the regions where we operate and help grow the local economy by creating jobs to help shape a more sustainable energy future. Cells invest heavily in low carbon energy solutions and advanced technologies, contribute to the public dialogue on energy and climate policy. Ethical dilemmas also have negative impacts. The negative impact of Cells chose to promote the long-term benefit of sustainable development is that the company's profits cannot be maximizing. The short-term benefit will be really weak, and the company's capital chance may be affected. My part is over. Next, invite Xu Taozhen to speak.
Thank you for my colleagues, Zijiang Hans, for bringing us a wonderful speech. Next, I will summarize and make recommendations for this group's presentations. In general, Shell CEO should choose the transformational leadership to deal with these ethical dilemmas. When facing with the choice between promote sustainable development or insistence on maximizing the company profits. or through the choice of the sustainable developments will have the negative impacts on the companies in the short term. For example, the Shell's company's interest will decline and the capital chains may become unstable, but it also will be beneficial to the company in the long-term benefits. For instance, it will create more employment opportunities and helping development of the local economy. It will also respect natures, protect the environment, contribute positively to biodiversity, helping and shaping a more sustainable energy futures. At the end of the presentations, our group makes three suggestions, as you can see in this slide. First, translational leaderships and the transformational leaderships can be coexist. The translational leadership is not necessarily negative, and the transformational leadership is not perfect as well. The Shell CEO should choose the leadership styles by handling it in flexible ways according to the person's times and the place. The second is, the Shell companies need to be higher the ethical standard. The company's own business models need to be joined bound by completing law and ethics, which means they need to under the supervision of some informal organizations, such as the labor units, consumer groups, and the green protection organizations. In this way, it could be efficiently avoid the occasional of the moral dilemmas. The last, the Shell company missions need to be interesting of the all human beings. As long as the corporation growth pursues their own interests, they should also promote the development of the human society. Then, it will be much easier for the people with the different cultural backgrounds and the entrance to corporations, which means that many of the existing conflicts in the fields will be eliminated or reduced. That's all of our presentation. Thank you. Thank you for your patience.